Hi there, it's Ron and Cyndi Gula with another episode of Gula Tech Cyber Fiction. Cyndi, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ron. Hello, everyone.
So good to see everybody. And today our guests on the show are going to be the grand prize winners from the last Gula Tech Foundation award grant that we gave out. Larry Sjelin and I got it right. Sjelin. I got it right.
That's good.
Doctor, right? You're not a doctor, right? When we did the grant, you're a doctor.
I just play one on at home.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I actually also got your state run from. So it's the Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security.
Yes.
And I was all about Texas. And I said it was, oh my gosh, what did I call it? I didn't say San Antonio. I said San Andreas. Something I got wrong.
That's close.
Not too far. Yeah.
San Jose, San Andreas, and
they're both big states.
Right. And then also with you is Julina Macy. How are you?
Macy.
Yeah.
Like William H. Macy. Any relation?
Sadly, no.
Oh boy. So you guys are doing the Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security. So congratulations on winning. The show is all about learning about the great work that you guys are doing. How did you get here? So Larry, how did you get involved? Julina, how did you get involved? What do you guys do there? Tell us all about it.
Sure. So actually, the CIAS is celebrating its 20th year in July. So for an academic center, in a university setting, that's kind of unusual. Most centers don't last that long. They kind of come and go with grants. But we've been here for 20 years now, and really working with a focus on community cybersecurity programs. We still have 3-4 employees that have been here since the beginning, but I came along in 2015, which I'm losing count, 5-6 years ago now. So I'm still rather new here at the center in terms of longevity. Julina came along
3.5 years ago.
3.5 years ago. So we're the newbies on the block. Actually, there's some employees newer than us, but it's a great place to work, a great environment to delve into this subject of cybersecurity and how to go about presenting it to the average person, mostly. How do we get people involved across the community to take notice of what their part is in being cybersecure, being cyber citizens, taking care of their personal data. So it's a great challenge, and we have a wide variety of programs that we focus on. Julina, you want to talk about a couple of those?
Sure. First, of course, when Larry came on board, he helped develop the entire educational gaming program we now have, which he brought me on to help promote. I myself have a nonprofit background in community outreach and marketing and communications. And so we work on programs that really focus primarily on K through 12 education, but it really does expand into overall community development and awareness towards cybersecurity and data care. So it really is just a wide gambit of that, from helping teachers become more well-versed in cybersecurity to helping them work with their students, helping the students at their age and grade level understand these new concepts, and then their families and the businesses at large to support those schools and so on. So we work with all those different elements of the community to really create a stronger future of cyber professionals, create good cyber hygiene, and so on.
Yeah.
One of the other.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to make a point. I said, I think everybody's recognized now that, mom and dad are IT, and the kids are certainly teaching everybody at home probably more than they were expecting to learn. So I think, our students are a good place to start to get some of this education to then bring it home, as compared to the other way with a lot of other subjects.
If you think about it, children these days, before they enter kindergarten, are already getting mom's phone and playing on their tablets. So young learners, children today, are growing up in this digital landscape. So it's not new for them. It's a matter of teaching them to do it safely and to protect their data online.
What is your guys' role in helping kids prepare and participate in cyber defense competitions?
So one of the other major programs that we have here in the CIS is our competitions group. The Cyber Patriot program, which is a middle school, high school competitions. We are the technology behind that. So we've been involved with it from the very beginning. I believe it's in its 14th year. It's been around for quite a while across the country. Our executive director actually helped do the white paper for that particular competition. So the AFA runs it, but we are the technology behind it. So we've been engaged with them. Another one is the NCCDC, the National Cyber Collegiate Defense Competition. Oh, I got it right. And that's our collegiate competition. So think, NCAA for cybersecurity. And this competition really hosts the cream of the crop across the country of students that are getting ready to go into that field. And it's a great way for industry out there to get a sneak peek of who's coming out. These teams that come out, we actually had one team hired on the spot, all of them 1 year. So it's really a fantastic competition, a great way to engage with the community. So that's kind of our main two that we focus on. We have others, but that's our main two with students.
And what's really nice about them are they build into each other.
Yeah.
So you're creating a good pipeline of cyber professionals by starting in middle school with Cyber Patriot, building those skills through high school, and then hopefully they build their own teams at the collegiate level and get hired from there. So they are designed to complement and work off each other. And that team environment, the social skills they learn, that's what business is really like.
Yeah.
They can actually monitor at the collegiate competition how these teams engage with each other. That's why one of them got hired on the spot. They saw how well they worked, and they want that in their own company. But then that real world experience.
Yeah, talk about that a bit more. So what is a Cyber Patriot event? Who qualifies for that? Is it like, is it months? Is it a couple hours? Is it remote? What is it?
So the Cyber Patriot is seasonal. They have a yearly competition, and it's broken down into regional. So every middle school or high school that has a team competes in their kind of regional. Then they move on up the brackets, and then we host a finalist competition that we do at the CIS. So it's a great way. The AFA has done a fantastic job, the Air Force Association, in promoting this program and keeping it going.
And I'll add that they're always looking for mentors.
Yes.
So it's a very—
and more teams.
Oh yeah, any school anywhere can create their own Cyber Patriot team. So no matter whether you're an underrepresented community or more of a high-tech school, anyone can participate. But these teams need mentors. It can be a teacher or a cybersecurity professional. It can be a mom or dad out there. You don't need a cyber background to be a mentor either, just someone to help guide and coach these children, these students on that path. So if you're interested, anyone out there in learning more about how to be a mentor, we can definitely help connect you to the AFA for that.
And all these competitions, both the Cyber Patriot and the NCCDC, they focus on defense, right? There's a lot of competitions out there that are geared more towards the hacker. You get to wear your hoodie and stuff. But we really like to stress defense because that's really what it's all about, right? Keeping everybody secure.
Isn't it amazing how Cyber Patriot has, originally it was high school, like seniors. And then it was like, okay, well, juniors. And now it's like, oh, well, let's go into the middle school. And we constantly get asked, how young is too young to start?
Well, that kind of leads us into our trilogy of card games, that we developed. We believe you can't start too early. So we have games that are for, starting at kindergarten. They're using phones and tablets and everything. So they have to have, just a basic understanding of, this idea of what cybersecurity is and being conscious and good cyber citizens and, how to use the internet properly. And so it's, you can't start too early, like I said. So we have focused on creating this pipeline of K through 12 and beyond.
And we know that at a very young age, as young as elementary, children are already building an interest in a career they might want to go into.
Sure.
They want to focus on the STEM field or go more towards liberal arts. Wherever it is, that's great. But if they want to build that interest in cybersecurity and data care early, we need to start at the youngest ages as well.
Let's talk about some of those games. This is one of the big reasons I think CIS stood out in our grant competition is it was very easy to understand that you're building games for kids to teach about cybersecurity. And a lot of this is on your website in the Culture of Cybersecurity program, which I think is really good. Let's talk about some of these. So you have the Cyber Culture of Cybersecurity. Who is Cyber?
Go ahead, Sjelin. You can take this one.
The Cyber family is our family of mascots. We've heard for years there needs to be a mascot for cybersecurity. So Dr. White, the director of our center, came up with the idea to develop the Cybears. And it starts off with Alan Cyber as the head of the family, with his wife, Grace, and son and daughter, Vint and Ada. And they are all named after individuals with made an impact in the STEM fields, technology or cyber. And so it's a great history tool or a way to build interest for children to see themselves in the field, as an example. So everything in our program is around that Cyber family of mascots to encourage them to be interested, just like Smokey the Bear and the Gruff. It's just creating that excitement. And right now they are tailored towards the K through 5 level, but we do plan on expanding them to all grade levels, all the way to seniors in the community. All levels need to be engaged. But for instance, we have, of course, Vint Cerf, who's known as the father of the internet. He's our inspiration for the sun. So they're not necessarily matching the names, their characters per se. But Ada, the daughter, for instance, is named after Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer in the 1800s. So really cool ways to introduce, again, the background of technology and cybersecurity, and to build them into our different worksheets for K through 5, electronic games that are free to download. A lot of our resources are low cost and mostly no cost to the community, starting at that young level. So they really do help promote that culture of cybersecurity, get the kids excited about it.
Yeah, again, our focus is, not necessarily to make, cybersecurity experts out of everybody that, touches our games, but more to make them good cyber citizens, right? How to deal with the internet, your personal data, your personal information. We would love more and more folks to go into the field, obviously, but that's really not our focus. Our focus is to make them better cyber citizens.
What kind of adoption have you had for that? Have you had schools use it and give you feedback?
Yeah, actually, across the spectrum of everything we offer, teachers love them. The students get engaged with it. One thing we've decided to do right from the very beginning at the CIS is these games and the products that we produce have to be fun first. If they're not fun first, they're not going to hold the students' interest. They may go to a summer camp or something and play another cybersecurity game and touch it one time and walk away from it. We want them to see these games as truly fun and engaging. Play in school, play it at home, all right? Get your mom and dad involved and some of their friends. So the whole concept is it's fun first. And then through the playing of the game, repetitive playing, they start learning these lessons about cybersecurity. So, it's our approach. We wanted to be true gamers in a sense and produce a product that, people would enjoy playing. They don't even have to be, technically savvy or, nerds or anything like that. It's just a fun game to play.
I really like how you take the electronic and make it tangible and something they can hold in their hands. And it's actually a card game that they can play physically or they can do it electronically. And again, I think we're going away as a society to a lot more of that in-person or tactile connection that you might have to something. And so your cyber threat defender cards, the game that way. I like how you incorporate other tidbits of information into the cards and collectibles. and really looking to that. So can you tell us a little bit more about the Cyber Threat Defender?
Sure. So that's our flagship game. It was the first one we launched. We patterned it after collectible card game Magic: The Gathering, if you're familiar with that. It's a true collectible card game. It's got booster packs that go with it, and these collectible cards that you might want to hang on to and trade. Product. So we wanted to have it a true collectible card game that down the road, who knows, how many we'll be seeing and playing in citywide tournaments. Magic: The Gathering can draw 30,000 people to Las Vegas. We would love someday to see, CTD Hour tournament in Las Vegas where we got 30,000 people playing.
One day.
I thought it was really good that you produced the content both in English and Spanish.
Yes.
Are you?
And we have plans to, bring that into the other games that we've developed too. We've actually had people contact us from France and Japan, looking to see if they could translate also. So it's catching on, around the country. We're in 27 countries right now with CTD. So it's proven itself. And I want to go back to something Cyndi mentioned. We had a teacher contact us and said that, they had a student and the student wasn't engaged, for much of the semester. And, it was an okay student, but once they broke out the game and started playing the game, the student came to the teacher and said, I finally understand everything you've been trying to say to us. I listened to the lectures and the PowerPoint presentations and all, because it wasn't until I played the game that I finally could see it laid out in front of me, how all these relationships came to play. So when we heard that, we were just like, that was some of the best news we've ever heard.
Yeah, everybody learns differently. Everybody, it takes so many different ways, inputs, languages, visually. Some people like to read, books and words. Other people like to look at it and they pick it up with pictures. And other people are just more of a concept, paint a picture in my mind for me and I'll get it. So now this is great. That's one thing about data care. And one of the reasons we did the data care grant is because we absolutely recognize that we need more hands on deck to get to those people who think they're excluded because they don't understand what we're talking about, but we definitely have to continue to try to show them. So we definitely really were, like I said, excited about what efforts you guys are doing here.
We had a guest earlier on in the season here of shows. It was Sid Meier, the guy that did F-15 Strike Eagle, Civilization, all that kind of good stuff. And we asked him, why aren't there any cybersecurity games? And he goes, because it's boring. So have you guys kind of made it exciting? Have you made it interesting and engaging?
That was the whole approach from the very beginning. We didn't want to run this out and say, here's a cybersecurity game. We wanted to say, hey, here's a good game that teaches cybersecurity, by playing it. But we wanted, and it's the same for the other card games that we've also developed. We wanted them just to be, something anybody can pick up and play and enjoy and learn about cybersecurity, right?
And, it was funny talking about the fun side of it. We had another teacher, pre-COVID, of course, who's on a school trip with a robotics team that he helped mentor and coach. And when they had downtime in their hotel rooms, we had the option to bring any game or play anything they want to do in their downtime. So he asked the team what they want to do. And they said they want to play Cyber Threat Defender. So they brought their games with them on all of their road trips when they were on their competition, just to play our games. So the students find it fun. They want to bring it with them. And so that itself also just proves that we've hit the head of the mark by accomplishing that.
Yeah, that was something else we were aiming for, is games that they would want to take home and expose mom and dad to, and brother and sister and friends. We wanted something that they could embrace at the family table, and everybody learn from it.
That's awesome. So that's sort of your flagship product, and I think based on that, you made more specific games. What is the Cyber Threat Protector game?
So, after Cyber Threat Defender had been out for a while, and that focuses on 6 through 12, We had a lot of elementary school teachers, particularly in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, reach out to us and say, hey, we love this game, we've used it, but do you have something that's just a little bit more friendly to those ages, right? And so we went back to the drawing board and we came up with a cyber threat protector, which focuses on 3, 4, and 5th grade. It's almost exactly like CTD, it plays exactly like CTD, but it's a little easier to comprehend with the card designs, not as much to read on the cards. So it's that little notch down that grade can use and utilize, and then make a nice jump into CTD when they get to 6th grade. We did the same for Cyber Threat Guardian, which is our K through 2. When you try to start thinking about how to make a game of cybersecurity for a kindergarten, it gets challenging. So that one is really an introductory level game. Just some basic concepts and terminology, just to get the kids kind of understanding some of these things.
When we know that about it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. When I first heard about it, my thought was I could use this in some of the board presentations I do.
Yes.
Well, they are a very low-tech way of teaching a high-tech concept in all 3 games. So we have had actually professionals and different companies use these games to help educate their staff and build awareness on certain things. So you can definitely bring it to your board. Definitely would translate well there. But it's funny. A lot of our teachers who want to use these games have a fear of using them because they don't have a background in cyber either. Mm-hmm. Particularly at the elementary level, where they don't really have STEM programs per se, and as many schools as state middle school and high school. So all they need to do though is read the cards and really learn from there. They're very self-explanatory. And so well that when I beta tested with some of our team members, Cyber Threat Protector, before we launched it, I was able to observe some classes, and I asked the students after 20 minutes of play, did you learn anything yet from playing this game? A lot of hands raised. And the first student said, I didn't know there are so many different types of cyber attacks. Now, the student didn't understand the relationships yet on which attack was needed for which defense, but he picked up it's more than just a phishing scam or virus. There's different types of viruses and things like that. So definitely ways to quickly pick up certain skills and knowledge.
Yeah, we actually had some more feedback from the teachers. He was at his desk and he allowed them to play the game after they got done with their work. And he looked up from his desk, in the back of the classroom, the entire class was surrounding one table watching these 2 other students play, and all commenting on, oh, you should play this card, or this is what you should do. And he just sat there and was just astonished that, this entire classroom was focused on this one game that was going on. So those kind of stories that we get are just fantastic for us.
We're very happy that you guys won the foundation grant, but it occurred to me that you could probably go to industry and have like the Microsoft Defender card or the CrowdStrike, card and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Actually, for Cyber Threat Defender, we have our booster packs, and companies can sponsor classroom sets that can go to schools in their areas that they can support. And as part of that is we design a specific playing card. So we've done this for MITRE, we've done it for Lockheed Martin and others. And so they get a booster pack they can sponsor and has their logo on it. They get a couple informational cards in there that can promote their company or whatever they so choose. So it's a great way for companies to get involved if they don't have their own educational STEM outreach program. It's a great way to tag on and have classroom sets with their logo on it. Go to a classroom and support their community.
Yeah, I find it interesting that we've run into a lot of people who say educators, and they think that there has to be some skill and some technology behind that education piece. And the reality is right now in this industry and with the digital domain, the way it's growing and innovating, we're all educators. Once we learn something, how many people do you know is like, hey, on this little Zoom thing, if you do this, you can do closed caption chat so you can watch it if you can't hear it. And it's like everybody's educating everybody a lot of time. So I certainly think that our kids are going to be doing a heavy share of hopefully learning and then educating like they are today.
Actually, we had a father submit a video to us of he was one of his oldest son was one of the winners of our citywide tournament, and he sent us a video of his son teaching Cyber Threat Defender to all his friends. And again, it's an amazing when we get this kind of feedback that we see, maybe things we didn't think were going to happen as a result of the games, but it's really just, it's a warming of our hearts that we know we've done something that's making an impact.
And if the general public wants to get a copy of this, do they apply for it? Can they buy it? How do they get it?
Well, it depends if you want to get your own personal copy or help support a local school in your area or your kid's classroom. But you can sponsor or purchase actually card decks of any of the games on a website called CIASmarketplace.com. So CIASmarketplace.com. You can find it on our website as well, but each deck can be purchased individually. We have game mats, extended rule books as well that can be purchased. So all that's really in one location, really easy to get to.
That's awesome. We'll definitely put that in the show notes. We constantly get asked for people, how can I help my school? And I would say, go talk, go visit. But giving this card game just sounds like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
And we actually have classroom sets, a box, for example, for Cyber Threat Protector. So if you sponsor it like Gula.
Oh, look at that. For anybody who's just listening, there's a box with the Gula Tech logo on it. So
for Cyber Threat Protector, but we had that for others as well. But you can actually donate a classroom set. So for Cyber Threat Defender, every student gets their own personal deck because it's a collectible card game. So it's 25 decks per classroom box you can donate. The teacher gets that 25th, that odd one out. But at the elementary level, the decks are shared by 2 players. So it's 15 decks per classroom box. But again, if you want to support your student's classroom or can help find a sponsor in your area who wants to get involved to support STEM awareness and so forth, just talk to us as well. We're happy to connect you to the school in your area if you don't have that. But schools out there are hungry for these kinds of tools. So,
yeah. And one of the great things about helping sponsor a classroom is, okay, so a classroom gets 25 sets of Cyber Threat Defender. Okay, so 25, 24 students get to use it that semester. Next semester or next school year, another 24, 25. So we've did some calculations, and we think we're impacting right now about 250,000 students right now with the current number that's out distributed across the globe. And that number obviously just keeps going on. So if you make a donation, you're not just impacting one time. You're going to keep impacting every school year.
And just in general, I guess when I think, and even as this conversation, we've said it's typically some of the young men or the boys that gravitate towards this. Do you see any gender difference? Do you see girls picking it up as much as the boys and really kind of going at the game?
We actually do a survey with our electronic game of Cyber Threat Defender, and it's all anonymous. We do try to calculate some of that data. In the classroom, everyone plays it equally, obviously. Online, we do see a little bit of disparity. It does lean towards men and boys playing it. We are seeing growth with girls. And so a lot of what we are doing is keeping that in mind. So every one of our games at the elementary, for instance, Cyber Threat Guardian, Cyber Threat Protector, have their own individual mascots in addition to the Cyber family, which of course the Cyber family also has women portrayed. But we have female characters built in to encourage the girls to get engaged. And our Cyber Threat Defender booster pack for personnel really incorporates female silhouettes throughout it, including the cover image. So we're trying to incorporate
Is that a female
that.
hacker in a hoodie?
Not quite,
No, that's
but
good. That's business. That's
professional.
That's
It's a
business. That's
professional.
great.
In a hoodie, a
But
blazer hoodie. I like that. We're having a fashion
But-
sense there.
we do see that by 4th, 5th grade, girls might lose interest in cybersecurity. So that's why our younger games in particular are really trying to target all demographics, minorities, men and women, to really get everyone engaged, because everyone needs good cyber hygiene. We need everyone represented in the cyber field. So we're definitely working on that too.
It is interesting to note the last citywide tournament we ran here in San Antonio, second and third place were both female.
In middle school.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I think you guys are doing is, it's not a content problem to train cyber, it's a confidence problem. So these card games and the things you're enabling teachers to do is really good. Another thing that you have that we haven't talked about yet is your pyramid of knowledge, where it just helps teachers build their own quizzes and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, it was we started to develop a game, and it actually morphed into we thought is a very cool platform for teachers to create their own tests or quizzes, and everybody in the students in the class can play it, and it's kind of like it's obviously a pyramid game show type thing where they answer questions, and there's interaction on the screen, but it's a great way just to other than another piece of paper quiz that they get, or a Scantron. That might be dating myself, Scantrons. It's a great way to just engage the student in the classroom and still have that flexibility to whatever subject matter they want. It doesn't even have to be cybersecurity. It could be just STEM, and they can build their own, like I said, tests and quizzes in there.
I think it's really funny because I instantly thought of like maybe just playing this in front of people at like a DEF CON or a Black Hat, and just pull like sitting CISOs out of the audience and see who really knows what TCP/IP stands for, what UDP stands for, TLS, all these kind of things. We have so many bad acronyms in our industry. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then you have a project Cipher as well, obviously cryptography and codes and deciphering and everything else like that have been around for hundreds of years. And it's one of those things that might get somebody really excited and not realize that they're in cyber if they're doing that electronically. So tell us a little bit more about Project Cipher.
Sure. Again, one of our team members helped develop that game, and it is electronic only interactive game that teaches students as young as 3rd grade about substitution and transposition ciphers. So they are going to be interacting with a cipher wheel and learning through either a guided process or a free play mode to learn about these different types of ciphers. And again, it's the younger grade set, but any age can benefit from that at a very introductory level. Everybody's learning different ways to learn about ciphers and cryptography and things of that nature. So we're looking at ways to help introduce these concepts and tools that kids want to play in, again, that fun aspect. So, everybody's going digital and electronic. So that's part of our CIS launcher platform. In our Cyber Threat Defender electronic game we told you about earlier, we have it within, it's called the launcher.
Yep.
That it's a single platform that you can download in a zip file right now to your desktop. And within that launcher, you'll get Cyber Threat Defender, you'll get Project Cipher, as well as other free electronic games at the elementary level. So kids can hopefully continue to learn through the summer and into the new school year. If they're doing hybrid learning in particular, be a great resource for teachers to use to introduce new concepts. It's already right there. And then we have free worksheets at the K through 5 level they might want to use to complement these tools and resources and the games that they have. So again, it's just a neat way of introducing different concepts.
So even the name of your organization, the Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security, it's interesting because you're 20 years old. So I wonder what the name would have been, if it was only 5 years ago. And obviously we're using these words like cyber and cybersecurity, like everybody understands what it actually means in today's fashion. And for those who weren't aware, the grant was actually for data care, which is increasing public awareness of cyber. So what do you think of the term data care?
I think you guys are on the right track. We don't want to scare people off with the term cybersecurity, and sometimes you do that, right? People run and hide, and they think it's too much for them. They can't participate. But if we're going to make better cyber citizens overall, we need to make it personal to them, right? You have to play your part to protect yourself. You just can't rely on whoever's platform is out there. You really need to be conscious about what you're doing when you're engaging with the internet and the Internet of Things. A lot of homes now, Alexa is listening. You have all these other things that are connected to the internet. And so it's, we just have to be smarter cyber citizens in the long run.
That's well said. That's well said. So what's next for you? What new games are you going to be coming out with? Are you launching any new programs?
Well, everybody keeps, not everybody, but there's a lot of folks that, when are these other games going digital? And it's something we want to do Cyber Threat Protector and Guardian. We want digital versions of those two. We are working on a full-fledged online version of Cyber Threat Defender where players will, be able to play head-to-head. Right now, they're just playing against the AI. But we never really want to lose that connection with this low-tech way of teaching this. So the idea of the cards that students maybe that are in school districts that don't have a lot of internet capacity or a lot of budget for some of these things. That's why we try to provide everything for free to these schools. We want games that are hands-on, that engage students with each other, not just sitting in front of a computer screen. That's some of the feedback we've gotten on our card games, is that teachers are witnessing students transform and open up when they start playing with another person across the table versus just sitting in front of a computer screen. So, it's a fine mix we think about, and how do we go about teaching cybersecurity and data awareness. We have to meet the student or the person at their level, their learning level. So we have to keep nimble in how we're doing things. But definitely we want to keep growing. We'd like to see our games in every classroom across the country. Somewhere down the road maybe. But that's kind of what we're shooting for now.
That's great. Well, let's go over the website one more time, just so our people who are listening, running on their treadmills and trying to type it into their phone. So your main website is cias.utsa.edu.
Yes.
And then any other websites that we wanted to talk about here to go to the games particular?
Well, to get to the gaming portion of the website, you can do ciasgaming.com. It'll take you right now to the Cyber Threat Defender main section, but it'll also access Cyber Threat Protector, Cyber Threat Guardian, Project Cipher, Peer of Knowledge is all right there. As well as, of course, our online marketplace. You want to get your own personal decks or game mats and so on, which again is cismarketplace.com as well.
And how much is a personal deck? What's just one deck cost?
$12.
$12. So this would be a great gift for a daughter or a son who is interested in cyber, wants to, cyber geek out with their
They don't have to be interested in cyber.
Right? If they like puzzles, if they like the gaming, if they're very competitive when it comes to, games and that type of stuff. Yeah, me too, which is why I said it. But, again, that's the beauty of stuff, is saying it is in data care, and that everybody needs this, that it's not just those who are already interested. We need to get everybody interested, even a little, so that they could be responsible.
Maybe a family game night. Everybody's still home these days, and hopefully we'll continue those connections. So why not bring that into your family game night and play each other? The whole family can learn together.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. So Larry and Julina, thank you so much. I mean, what you're doing, everybody's a winner who's working on nonprofits and stuff, but for those who competed in our grant, I mean, you guys really stood out with just the innovation, the targeting of K through 12, enabling of the teachers, and we just wish you the best luck with the work you're doing.
And the reach that you're making, and the amount of students and beyond that you're touching, and people, different learners as well. So it's really, really great. And we're excited to see where you're going to be going in the next 20 years.
Thank you. And we just want to say that, without folks like you, helping with projects, there's some great winners that you had this year and runners up. Without folks like you, we just can't do these kind of things. We can't always look to the government to help fund things. It's folks like you that just make the difference.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity. All right. So thank you for joining us for another episode of the Gula Tech Cyber Fiction Show.